Before we move on to the actual guide, I would like to talk about something. It's about your support for my channel. I'm really glad for whatever support you've given me so far, but recently I uploaded a gameplay video on my channel, and it honestly got the lowest impressions so far. I don't know why you all love to watch my guide videos and then ignore the other stuff I post on my channel. It's really demotivating to see your selective support for my channel, and if I don't feel motivated, then I really fail to produce quality content, and it actually affects my mood too. Whenever I create something in a good mood and with love, it turns out really great. I really love you all and respect your time, but please do support the other videos on my channel. It will keep me motivated to keep producing quality content for you and help you improve your gameplay. Thank you. Hey everyone, welcome back. I think there are 3 types of players in this game. First, there are those who love to play and master complex heroes like Jing and Luna. Then, there are players who just want to reach a specific rank, usually picking meta or easy heroes to get there. And finally, there are players who enjoy heroes that aren't very popular. These heroes are neither super complex nor super easy. They might have a really cool kit but aren't very strong, or vice versa. Today, in the 6th episode of my main series,
欢迎来到王者荣耀，全军出击。
we're diving into a hero that really belongs to that 3rd category, perfect for the people who enjoy playing these kinds of heroes. Yes, I'm talking about Levi. I'm going to break down everything about him and share all the details I've gathered. Levi is getting his flawless skin release soon on the global server, which is one reason I'm making this guide. Another reason is that I wanted to make a guide for that 3rd category of players. Levi isn't super strong, but he has a really cool kit with tons of opportunities to outplay your enemies. The only downside he has is that he lacks raw damage. He has an amazing kit, but his stats are terrible. Despite that, I'll show you the best ways to play him, how to outperform your opponents, and how to outplay them with smart, small decisions. I won't just break down his skills, I'll also share some really important and secret tricks you probably won't find in any other Levi guide. After this video, you might not even need another one. So let's get into it. Let's roll the intro. As usual, let's start with Levi's passive. It's one of those simple passives in the game, but it's also really unique. According to his passive, if your basic attacks or first skill hit the target 4 times in a short period, your physical attack gets enhanced, meaning you deal more damage, and your ultimate gets unlocked too. Yes, you heard that right. Even though you unlock his ultimate at level 4, it's technically not ready to use until you hit the target 4 times. That's what makes him so unique. Once you've hit the target and unlocked his ultimate, it lasts for 6 seconds. After that, it goes back to a locked state. You can't use it again unless you hit the target 4 times once more. One important thing to remember is that the target has to be a non-structure enemy unit, meaning enemies, minions, and jungle monsters are fine, but not the turret or nexus. Now, imagine you only manage to hit the target twice or 3 times. You roughly have 4 seconds to land the remaining hits. If you fail, the counter resets, and you'll need to hit the target 4 times again to unlock your ultimate and get the physical damage boost. And that's it for his passive. It basically explains how to unlock Levi's ultimate. Now let's move on to his first skill. In this section, I'll first explain how Levi's skill 1 works, and then I'll share a really cool trick you can use to fool your enemies. I'll also show you how these 4 mysterious Levi skins can help hide your position. And honestly, this could even be considered a pay-to-win trick in the game. So Levi's first skill has 3 phases. When you use it the first time, Levi dashes forward. When you use it a second time, he dashes forward again. And when you use it a 3rd time, or tap the skill for the 3rd time, then he returns to the original position of his first dash. It's as simple as it sounds, and you can already see why this is Levi's main kiting ability. One thing to remember is that the second dash actually covers a greater distance than the first. There are certain obstacles you can't cross with the first dash, but the second dash can easily go over them because it's longer. Now, about the trick I mentioned, it's called after image deception. As the name suggests, it's used to deceive your enemies. Here's how it works. Levi's first skill has 2 dashes, and after the first dash, his shadow faces the direction he dashed. This shadow basically gives away your position, and enemies can easily guess where you are. For example, if you dash toward the enemy's red buff but an enemy roamer shows up, he sees your shadow's direction and alerts his teammates, especially jungler, about your location. Then that would be really bad and unfavorable for you. So to avoid this, what you can do is you can pull your analog stick or wheel backward and then use your skill 1 like I'm showing on the screen. This way, Levi faces backward while dashing forward. The dash goes forward, but the shadow faces the opposite direction, it misleads enemies into thinking you went somewhere else. This is the after image deception trick, and it's super fun to use. Now, regarding the mysterious skins, these 4 skins you see on the screen have a special effect. When you use the first dash of skill 1 in any of these skins, then your location, meaning your shadow facing the direction, is revealed much less clearly compared to other skins, including his default skin. This also applies to his flawless skin, so now you know, it's the perfect time to grab this skin whenever it becomes available. And that's everything about his skill 1. Now, let's jump on to his skill 2. Just like his skill 1, Levi's second skill also has a trick, called Trick the Tower. But before we get into that, let's first understand how his skill 2 works, and what its main functionality is. Whenever Levi uses his skill 2, he creates a circle that curses enemies, dealing damage to them. And during this time, Levi becomes untargetable until the skill ends. And that's it. That's everything about his second skill. I know it sounds simple, especially compared to most of the heroes I've covered in previous mained episodes, where the skill descriptions were lengthy and complex. But Levi is different, as I told you. Now, about the trick. Since skill 2 makes Levi untargetable while it's active, it's not just for damage. It can also help him ignore crowd control and high burst damage. Just activate this skill when an enemy is about to use a crowd control ability or a big burst skill, and you can smoothly dodge them all. This also helps a lot with kiting, just like skill 1. Another fun use of his skill 2 is during tower pushes. Imagine you're taking turret hits instead of your minions or teammates. You can use skill 2 to redirect turret aggro, making the turret target someone else instead. Levi's skill 2 also resets turret damage. Turrets deal increasing damage with each hit, but if you're about to take a huge hit that could nearly kill you, using skill 2 will reset the turret's damage back to the first hit's value, which is much lower. So for example, when you're backdooring or pushing enemy turrets and you have few minions left, you can take a few turret hits, then use skill 2 to redirect the turret to your minion while resetting its damage. This protects your minions, reduces turret damage on them as well if you keep using your skill 2 whenever it's available, and it keeps Levi safe. It's not only super useful, but also really fun to pull off. Whenever Levi uses his ultimate, he releases 5 sword waves forward and becomes untargetable while it's active, just like with his second skill. Now, something you should know, Levi's ultimate has damage fall off. This means the more targets it hits, the less damage each one takes. To be precise, his ultimate loses 15% damage per additional enemy hit, up to a maximum of 30% reduction. So, to deal full damage with his ultimate, you should avoid hitting multiple targets at once. The fewer enemies it hits, the higher the damage. So next time your teammates complain about your poor teamfight participation, just send them this video. Here's another little known detail. The back of Levi's ultimate also deals damage. For example, if you're standing really close to the enemy and cast your ultimate in the opposite direction, they'll still take damage even though you're facing away. This only works at very close range, but it's good to know. Now let's talk about a trick related to his ultimate, called the 1-second ultimate combo. There's actually a small problem in one of Levi's common combos. When you do 1A 1A on enemies, you'll notice there's a slight delay between the two 1As. After the second 1A, Levi moves a bit farther away from the target, and he has to walk back toward them before continuing the combo. It sounds small and tolerable, but in real matches this delay gives enemies time to react, and that can be a huge problem. The solution to this problem is that after you perform the first 1A, quickly move your analog in the opposite direction for a very short distance, then use 1A again. This cancels the delay, letting Levi instantly chain into the second 1A without any pause. From there, you can go into skill 2, and then finish with your ultimate. It's really important to know about this delay in his kit, so I had to mention it here. Now let's talk about Levi's optimal settings. The truth is, there aren't any special or unique settings you absolutely need for him. Most of it comes down to your own preference. But if I had to give some advice, here's what I'd recommend. First, set your basic attack target priority to nearest unit. This way, when you're close to an overextending or solo enemy, your ultimate will focus on them instead of randomly targeting others. That prevents your ultimate damage from spreading out and receiving damage reduction. Most pro players use this setting for Levi. Of course, you can also go with lowest absolute health. It really depends on your playstyle. The second setting you can try is auto basic attack. This one's optional, but enabling it can help the system automatically handle those 4 hits you need to unlock your ultimate. And if you're a beginner and still unsure about what to use, don't worry. You can just copy my Levi settings, which I'll show you in a moment.
Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Keep my head up when I act, head up, that's a fact. Never looking back, I'ma keep myself on track. Keep my head up, staying strong, always moving on. Feel I don't belong, tell my thoughts to move along. Push myself to be the best, die with no regrets. Live with every breath, see my message start to spread. And I had so many dreams, then you hit your teens. Life ain't really what it seems, try to find out what it means. Always do it on my own, so I gotta get through it. And the only thing I know is to love what I'm doing. Never give up, never slow, till I finally prove it. Never listen to the no's, I just wanna keep moving. Yeah, I put out all this art, it's my only medicine. Yeah, everything I do, I'm just being genuine. Yeah, I'm sick of being screwed, feel my own adrenaline. Yeah, I do just what I do, and I hope you let me in, yeah.
Just like his settings, Levi's build is also pretty generic. There really aren't too many variations. The easiest way is to just check which build has the highest win rate on the global server and copy it. You can also look at what the top players are using and follow their build. Of course, you can always adjust or switch your items depending on the enemy team comp. Compared to Luna, Levi's combos are much simpler and a lot easier to learn. I'll be giving you 4 combos to practice and also use in real matches, depending on the situation you run into. The first combo is a standard harass combo. You start by using your basic attacks on minions or jungle camps to unlock your ultimate, then use your first skill twice to dash toward your target. After that, use your second skill to block any incoming damage, and then cast your ultimate. The combined damage from both your second skill and ultimate is usually enough to finish off the enemy. Finally, use your first skill again to return to your original position. For this combo to actually work, you need to be sure enemies are up ahead, and that you can reach them before your ultimate locks again. Also, don't forget to watch your shadow, because sometimes enemies will camp near it and wait for your return to ambush and kill you. The second combo is one I already talked about earlier. It's that 1-second ultimate combo from when we discussed his ult. It's basically a burst combo that chains 2 first skills together with basic attacks to quickly unlock your ultimate and lock down the enemy, while also canceling the delay between your 2 first skills. Here's how it goes. First, use your first skill, then do a basic attack on the target, and at the same time move your analog slightly backward. Then use your first skill again. Because you moved your analog behind earlier, the delay gets cancelled. Do another basic attack, and now you've unlocked your ultimate. From there, use your second skill, and then drop your ultimate to burst down the enemy. The third combo I want to show you is often used to dodge hard crowd control. The moment you sense the enemy is about to throw CC at you, instantly use your second skill to dodge all of it, both the control and the damage. After that, use your first skill, then a basic attack, then slightly drag your analog back, then use your first skill again, followed by another basic attack. Just like that, you've hit the target 4 times and unlocked your ultimate, so you can finish the sequence with your ultimate to secure the kill. The fourth combo is a simple chase combo. Imagine you're chasing down a squishy target without any escape skills. Use your first skill twice to reach them, then do 4 basic attacks to unlock your ultimate. After that, use your second skill and ultimate to finish off the escaping enemy. But with this combo, you really need to be precise with your guesses. If you assume wrong and the enemy actually has an escape ability, they might surprise you and get away. Or worse, if they have some kind of CC and you didn't expect it, they can turn the fight around on you. Now I'll give you 2 backstepping techniques for Levi that you can use to completely surprise your enemies and catch them off guard, if you're quick enough to pull them off. The first one is the single backstep ultimate. As you can see here, I'm surrounded by enemies, so I use my first skill twice to run away toward a nearby jungle camp. Then I land 4 hits on that camp to unlock my ultimate. At this point, the most important thing is to check whether there's any enemy standing near the shadow you left behind. If yes, then instantly teleport back, use your second skill, and then your ultimate to kill them. Like I said before, you really need to make sure enemies are near your shadow. If they're not, then going back is just a waste. But if an enemy assumes you've already escaped for good and you're never returning with your first skill, that's exactly when you can snap back, catch them completely off guard, and finish them. The second one is called the double backstepping ultimate. This one is used when enemies aren't near your shadow but are a little farther away, and it requires a bit more patience. Watch the clip here. First, I use my first skill to leave a shadow, Then I use my first skill again to dash toward the nearest camp. I hit the camp 4 times, unlock my ultimate, and then return to my shadow. But when I get back, there's nobody there. Then I notice the enemies are about 2 dashes away from me. Now, here's where the trick comes in. In the late game, your first skill has only a 3-second cooldown, while your ultimate stays unlocked for 6 seconds. That means you can wait at a safe position for your first skill to refresh, then use it again to reach the enemies and finish them off with your second skill plus ultimate. Both of these backstepping techniques are risky, but they also come with great reward. The key is to practice them until you can execute them as fast and clean as possible. And speaking of practice, this reminds me of a few things you should really train daily if you want to become the best Levi player. When it comes to practice, there are a few techniques you absolutely need to train daily. Backstepping and the 1-second ultimate combo are at the top of that list. They're essential for building muscle memory and learning to execute them as quickly as possible. Another thing you should practice is timing your second skill to dodge enemy damage, turret shots, and even hard crowd control. The more you train this, the easier it becomes to react instantly in real matches. And finally, make sure you practice using jungle monsters as stepping stones. This lets you quickly charge up and unlock your ultimate whenever you need it. It's something you'll want to get comfortable with by training it consistently. And in the end, let me give you some jungle tips related to Levi. First of all, as I've mentioned before, Levi's stats are terrible. He really doesn't deal much damage if you fail to execute his combos properly. Like in this clip, you can see that in the mid-game, it took Levi his entire combo just to kill Arlie, who's literally the squishiest marksman in this game. Meanwhile, other assassins could have killed her in just 2 to 3 seconds. So yeah, without proper combo execution, he's really weak, especially in the early game. And that's exactly what gives enemies an advantage. If the enemy team is experienced and they know about Levi's early game weakness, they'll often try to invade your buff right at the start, and chances are you'll lose it. But don't worry, I've got tips to counter different kinds of invades. I won't be covering those in this video though, I'll save that for the next Levi video I make. One last thing I do want to mention here is about the timing of your second skill. When exactly should you use it to dodge both enemy burst and CC? Well, when you get close to the enemy, just activate your second skill literally about 1 second later. That's usually the moment enemies react and throw their skills at you to push you out of the fight. Time it right, and you'll waste their abilities while staying safe. And that's it for this video, lads. I really hope you found it helpful, and honestly, I think this might just be the most detailed Levi guide on YouTube for all the Levi mains out there. If you liked my efforts, then please consider dropping a like on this video and hyping it up so it can climb to the top of the leaderboard. I believe you guys can definitely do that much to support a small creator like me. Also, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe to my channel and become a part of my lovely W subscribers family. Don't forget to comment your questions or any points I might have missed about Levi, and also let me know how you feel about my videos. I always love reading your feedback. I'll see you all in the next video. Till then, take care of yourselves and love y'all.